Charles Grodin was one of the greatest ever. From taking the grumpy guest persona and turning it into late-night TV performance art, if Charles Grodin is involved, you're going to get something special. From Midnight Run to The Heartbreak Kid to Beethoven, there's no shortage of ways to grow up with Charles Grodin movies. There was beauty in how Grodin sold and committed to everything he was in. You believed he was in love with Miss Piggy. And my favorite SNL episode to this day is still Grodin's one-time hosting gig, where he misses rehearsal and more or less improvs his way through it. One of my favorite Grodin genres, though, are the movies where the whole plot is based around something pissing off Charles Grodin. Whether it's being pissed off by Beethoven, pissed off by the Bumpuses, or in the case of Clifford, pissed off by Martin Short playing a 10-year-old. Clifford is one of those movies heavily trashed upon release, but has definitely gained a cult audience over time. The film was directed by SCTV writer Paul Flaherty and written by William Porter and Stephen Campman, who also wrote the hit comedy Back to School. This is one of Grodin's most underappreciated films, right along with Ishtar, another underrated gem blasted upon release. And I'm glad to be spotlighting this bizarre, twisted little comedy. It all starts with the classic storybook tale of kids trying to murder people. And since it's a family film in the 90s, that means shenanigans music. Although if I take my glasses off, it's the opening credits of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I don't think any of this is gonna happen in the movie, unless I'm forgetting the scene where he just shoots a bunch of people with a Tommy gun. And hey, those aren't the writers' names. That's because the writers hated the movie so much they took their names off. But I still like it. Uh-oh, is this when we get to meet Clifford? He doesn't look 10. The wraparounds take place at a boys' school in 2050, where everyone is still very much like 1990 troubled youth, and other things.
You weren't exactly a saint when you first got here. Now were you, Victor?
Kids, don't hang out with Father Cliff. You can tell this is from the writers of Back to School, because the lead still gets no respect. Ben Savage plays troubled kid Roger, and I don't know if this home will help.
Oh, right there. Roger! Whoa.
Just like the end of Godfather Part 3. So the movie was actually filmed in 1990 and set to be released in 91, but due to Orion's financial problems, it didn't see a release until 1994. In that 3 years, the movie was re-edited, and years after principal photography, these elderly Clifford scenes were shot to, I don't know, make it feel more like Young Guns 2? Father Cliff knows what'll help the boy. A story of when he was a bratty kid that immediately looks like they did a family comedy remake of Burial Ground Nights of Terror.
Stop hitting the back of my chair. I am trying to sleep.
Perhaps you were just having a nightmare about your early days in the circus.
We have a trailer line! Clifford is obsessed with going to Dinosaur World in Los Angeles, while his parents, I'm fairly certain, want a dinosaur to show up to take down the plane. I love that there's no reason he looks like this. He's just a 10-year-old who happens to look like a 40-year-old man. This is one of the things the movie was criticized for, but I like that it plays it with no explanation and everyone accepts that he's a kid.
Where's Clifford? He shut the engines.
Also, he almost causes a plane crash. Mom and Dad's wish came true.
What an amazing story.
You liked that, did you?
Well, that was fast. What a quick movie. Just kidding. There's plenty more weirdness.
Son, that's not the whole story. It's just the beginning.
That doesn't look very good out of context. Charles Grodin plays his Uncle Martin, an architect, while his fiancée is Sarah, played by Mary Steenburgen. It's in the early days of things pissing off Grodin in this relationship. They'd later play the Parkers in the Christmas Story sequel It Runs in the Family. Martin's life is good so far. Look at his amazing new house. Plenty of things can cause damage in here. Dogs, children. I mean, it's called Clifford. There's a chance he could still be pissed off by a big dog. Though the relationship is on the rocks, since she thinks he doesn't want kids, and he wants to show her how much he likes them, like his nephew. The movie is a bonus things pissing off Richard Kind movie. No need to be stressed, just ship him off to boarding school. Dad needs to chill.
I'm dreadfully sorry, Mrs. Extra Wide Load. What are you packing in now, huh?
I think I know where Clifford gets his insults. Then they get the idea to let him stay with his uncle while they go to Hawaii. By George, have we not thought of this before? No, really, how have we not thought of this before? I'm sure the two of them will get along just fine.
Come here. Look.
I'm sorry, this movie is pretty damn funny, and the music cues are made even funnier with lines like this.
Clifford?
Don't reject me!
Kid, you'll be perfectly safe. Martin won't try killing you till the end. And yes, Grodin will be plenty annoyed by dogs too. A joyous film. It isn't even that Clifford is simply precocious or unaware he's doing bad things. He straight up steals everyone's belongings from the airport. However, I can think of someone who won't like this movie. Lloyd disapproved! Oh, we'll get to Lloyd's 911 Lone Star clip later, but first, another commercial! Convention season is back, so come see us at the 10th anniversary of Exotica Expo Chicago. We'll be there all weekend with our uncut and uncensored DVDs from July 16th to the 18th. Get your tickets now at exoticaexpo.com. I'm away for 1 minute and am confused. It's okay, Uncle. It's only 1990. I can spy on someone in the shower. We're still going by 80s movie rules. I like that there's a slight build-up to Grodin hating Clifford. When it starts, he's trying hard to make it look like he likes the kid, despite... I'm gonna bang your fiancé, bro. Time to add in the creepy music. Honestly, it's still creepy even with the music they use.
Okay, Clifford.
Excellent use of music that sounds like it should be in The Omen or the Amityville Horror. The creepiness continues in the next scene with seemingly innocent lines coming across as more sinister.
No, I wouldn't lie to you. Get in the bed.
Why? What's gonna happen? It's like a whole movie made about how preposterous and awkwardly funny just the still shots alone would be. Many of the actors are standing on boxes when they're acting opposite of Clifford, making him look even smaller. Totally know the feeling. In most movies I'm in, I'm standing on boxes. Oh, and Dabney Coleman is in it too. I feel like I could have just assumed he was in it. It makes a great double feature with the talking horse movie Hot to Trot. But oh no, Uncle Martin has to redesign his entire model in 2 days and can't take Clifford to Dinosaur World while he's creating the opening screen for Mario 64. I'm sure he'll take it well that they can't go to Dinosaur World.
I can't take you right now!
Turn back, Uncle Martin! The freeway to Dinosaur World is not there!
This is like What About Bob if Bob was 10 and just wanted to murder people. Hell, he finds a family going to the theme park where one of the kids is wearing a dinosaur costume, which Clifford buys from. Oh yeah, even the guests love spending 12 hours at a hot theme park in a costume. There's just something about the casting here that makes these lines work.
Bad boy, Clifford. Bad boy.
What was it like on set for this film? Oh, here's the part where I tell a 40-year-old man, bad boy. Okay, let's do this. The casting of Short is great too, because it always feels instantly like this is gonna be a thriller.
Breaking a little boy's promise and then punishing him for it would be a terrible, terrible thing.
Seriously, the movie's 2 beats closer to turning into the Paperboy. Oh, what? Sarah's parents' anniversary party is coming up? I have the feeling that nothing will go wrong.
Too busy for a boy's dream, but not too busy to go out to dinner.
Okay, I figured out what this reminds me of. Remember Twisted Nerve, where Hywell Bennett pretended to have the mind of a child to get closer to Haley Mills? That's like this, only if it's a family film. The characters even look similar. Wait, I was wrong about things going right. Clifford is doing the classic replace the Bloody Mary with hot sauce prank. Sarah's dad already hates Martin. I'm sure this toast with hot sauce won't help. It was the one-chip challenge of its time. While it starts out with Martin trying to like him, all it takes is one party to want to beat this damn kid with a loaf of bread. Sarah's here to tell him dinner is ready, where I'm sure more terrible things are gonna happen. Hey, that's not chapstick. That's not even the big prank. Clifford has him arrested for domestic terrorism and planting an explosive device in the city. Clifford is less the cable guy and more Castor Troy. Oh, we're taking him right to the station at Pendant Publishing. This all happened from Clifford editing together messages and recording what Uncle Martin was telling him. And only Grodin can be so amazingly deadpan in this situation when he's mad about the lights being too bright.
Well, you know, now I can't see anything.
And as for where Clifford is now, he's having a nice, balanced breakfast of, again, shenanigans music. I love that even after the whole ratting him out to the feds thing, he still has to pretend to like the kid. It's gonna be unrealistic if he doesn't murder Clifford. And why's he blaming his co-workers for the prank?
The two cops who arrested me at the party? Larry's cousins.
No, I don't think that's funny at all.
Oh, just a little harmless terrorism prank. But what is funny, though? Scary Charles Grodin.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Get in the car.
Clifford is like a recurring character you'd see on a sketch comedy show that would probably annoy me, but something about it being in a weirdly creepy movie with Charles Grodin makes it work.
I believe the Dinosaur World is the only place where a boy like me can be happy.
And I hope this has the same twist as The Orphan. The whole plot hinges on him still wanting to go to Dinosaur World, but luckily old Clifford isn't the only one who can tell a story.
There was a great amusement park called Riverview, but my father never took me there. And then one day, they tore it down.
Ooh, inspiring. At least now he can get some work done. Oh, except Clifford runs away to find Sarah and what? Guilt trip? I have the feeling he's gonna trap Charles Grodin on this train. See? It just works! Ah, the good old days when you could smoke a cigar on a train and have a song and dance number at the train station. Plus, Clifford has to throw a huge party. It's still going by 80s movie rules. That's not even all of it. Uncle Martin catches Dabney Coleman being creepy boss Dabney Coleman again. It is a misunderstanding, but why do people still think Martin is the villain?
Oh, don't worry about Clifford. He'll be happy if you give him a ton of sugar and a book about Hitler.
What's that supposed to mean?
Means he's a Nazi, bro. Sure, she breaks up with him, but back to Martin Short being the most Martin Short he's ever Martin Shorted. The editing in the movie is a little weird, because here's what it immediately cuts to. I feel like between 1990 and 1994, some scenes just got lost. Yet that won't prepare you for the twist. My God, he's been Rob Reiner this whole time! Things aren't any better when he finally does come home to Clifford.
Uncle Martin, I am so glad you're here.
He's really missing simply walking in on a muddy Beethoven. Uncle Martin is going about things correctly. Just leave the boy tied up and board his ass inside. This isn't gonna go over so well when Sarah comes home to the last act of Problem Child.
Why don't you ask him how he got tied up like that? Tell her about the bikers in your damn no-no place.
Ooh, he went to the Lloyd Christmas School of Things Coming Out Wrong. Speaking of Lloyd.
On the season finale of 911 Lone Star, we answer last week's question of was that a freaking dust cloud? The answer, yes. Yes, it was a freaking dust cloud. See you next season.
Now that we're back, it's the big presentation again. I don't think anything will go wrong.
I just want to say that...
Look, it makes perfect sense. We already know that Clifford is a terrorist bomber. Remember in Beethoven when the dog dragged David Duchovny and Patricia Heaton behind him, messing up Grodin's business deal? Yet Grodin still saved the dog at the end. This movie is like that, only if Grodin personally drove Beethoven to Dr. Dean Jones himself. It shouldn't take too long at Dinosaur World. It's mostly just a big map painting. I like the design of this park. It's like it resides in Tim Burton land, which goes right along with the last act of the movie being so dark, it actually is about Charles Grodin snapping and taking Clifford away to murder him. This is like if Danny DeVito directed the amusement park climax in Child's Play 3. He sends him on a roller coaster which has the convenient setting of going on for about 100 hours.
Hello, I'm Teddy the Pterodactyl.
Okay, it's official. I want this park to be real, and I want to go to it. It's got a loop, water, the skeletal remains of the other people Uncle Martin has killed. Why is that there? Oh, and there's a gigantic dinosaur that has to be defeated by a laser. This is the greatest ride I've ever seen. But it's gonna make Charles Grodin mad. He's upset that Clifford chose the Godzilla ride and not the King Kong attraction. He got stepped on by Kong for nothing, and now he's really pissed.
How many years do you think you'll get for kidnapping me, Uncle Ken Most Wanted?
Life. Let's go a little faster, shall we?
See, Clifford is making a huge mistake. You don't poke the bear, and you definitely don't poke the Charles Grodin.
You know, Clifford, I really shouldn't put this in hyperdrive, but I just can't seem to help myself.
Rides really shouldn't come equipped with a lever meant to murder you. It's gonna reveal it was actually Mechagodzilla. This ride still isn't as dangerous as the one in Child's Play 3. You may think Grodin suddenly wants to save him, but...
Uncle Martin, save me! Uncle Martin!
I'm thinking it over.
We gotta get some use out of the production design. The amusement park built a giant dinosaur for a reason. Not sure why the park would build it like that, but whatever. Might as well save the boy. We still have to market this as a family film, even though it would have been absolutely brilliant if this movie's ending went the full War of the Roses. But don't take that as Uncle Martin liking him. He still doesn't. While no one dies, it doesn't have a big sentimental moment between the two. Instead, it's this.
If that's why you feel, why should I go with you then?
Then don't go with me. It's your choice.
And that's the end of that story. Wasn't that a great lesson, Roger? Okay, so it does show them sort of making up at the wedding. Yeah, making up with seething hatred.
Uncle Martin had forgiven me, and that single act of kindness changed my life.
I don't think he has forgiven you. He's just upset his murder plan didn't work. Now Ben Savage is off to cry himself to sleep or make a plan to blow something up. With this movie, it could go either way.
Mission accomplished, old friend.
If the mission was to make a nihilistic family film with its sentimental tongue planted firmly in cheek, then you succeeded. Clifford was not a success. It was a bomb at the box office and critics hated it. But it does make me happy knowing how much of an audience the movie has built up over time. The movie is unapologetic in making the Clifford character a freaking sociopath. To watch Charles Grodin give it his all opposite Martin Short as if Short really is a 10-year-old kid is a masterful work by Grodin, who for decades has been rightfully called a comedy legend. And speaking of comedy legends, Martin Short is also mystifying in the film in one of his weirdest performances ever. And he nails this cross between Dennis the Menace and Mark Lewis. This role is pure 100% Martin Short, in that it feels like Martin Short straight off the leash. Much in the same way Nothing But Trouble was all of the quirkiness and weird sense of humor of Dan Aykroyd off the leash. Really, if you want to watch these two movies together, you're gonna have an entertaining night. I hope you not only give this movie a shot, but also any movie in the great Charles Grodin filmography, because no matter what you pick, you are going to get some brilliant Charles Grodin moments.
Get me the bunny!